So you're at Walmart, right? You mind your business and stuff, and you're like clothes and stuff, and all of a sudden you see this African American young woman with $2 sandals on, the ashiest feet that you can possibly see, pajamas on, some tank tops with no bra on, and you see all the weaves and tracks in her hair, and she just scratching her head like this, like that. And you just stand there and be like, oh, why would she get out of bed like that and go in public like that? And then you notice that she's staring at you back. And then the first thing comes to your head is, you about to get cussed out at Walmart. She's about to get every pronunciation, every misuse of the English language. But as soon as she speaks, she catches you off guard. And she says, excuse me, sir, or ma'am, I don't appreciate you staring at me like that. Could you please stop? And then you're shocked on how someone portrays that image, but then when she speaks, she plays a different image. You should listen to me because when I'm done giving this speech, you'll be not so quick to be judgmental to someone or to something. In this speech, I'll talk about ISIS. And the first thing I'll talk about is its origin. The second thing I'll talk about is its ideology and beliefs. And the third thing I'll talk about is its governance. So there's a lot of speculation on who ISIS really is. It's brand new, and we don't really know like who exactly are they or like where they're from. The militant jihadist organization started in 1999 when they were kind of pronounced the Jamaat al-Tawhid wa-Jihad with this leader Asu Ghazghari. Their first intentions was to overthrow the Apostle Kingdom in Jordan, and over time they grew notoriety by in the internet by posting videos of them beheading their hostages. In 2004, while they were involved in the U.S.-Iraqi insurgency, they pledged allegiance to Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda, and they renamed themselves Al-Qaeda in Iraq. In October 2006, they renamed themselves as the Islamic State in Iraq, as their acronym ISI. And then a year later, they formed a merger with the Al-Nusra Front in 2007, but Al-Qaeda rejected the merger, and over time they decided to cut all ties with the newly formed up Islamic State in Iraq and Levant, otherwise known as ISIL. They were involved in the Syrian civil war, and that in Iraq, they were able to move the government forces out of the western key cities, and that in Syria, they were able to attack both government forces and rebel actions alike. And their primary, or mainly tactics was suicide bombing. In about 2003, they renamed themselves as the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, otherwise known as ISIS. And earlier this last year, they became the self-proclaimed Islamic State. Now, as its origins, it's kind of a gory type of origins, a lot of beheading, a lot of violence, and we wonder like why would they think in such a way? Like what's going on in their heads? Like is there something wrong with them? Are they just like psychopaths or something like that? But as I move on to my second thing I'll talk about is its ideology. It is a self-fascist jihadist, but the self-proclaimed Islamic State is a caliphate. And a caliphate pretty much means is that it's some form type of government that's led by a caliph, which is believed to be a leading successor of the Prophet Muhammad. And some of the requirements for a caliph that they have to be able to, that they list, that they read the Quran and they take the lessons in the Quran figuratively and literally out of society, and they use it to all the people and they teach it to all these people. And that back in the Quran times, it was usually more of a militia leader. So they made sure that like all his limbs were attacked. You know, there's nothing like too often because it was usually like the people that was governor, not governor, militant leader. Judaism in Arabic, jihad means struggle. And in Judaism, it basically means that they believe that everything revolves in some form of struggle. And for like militant jihadists, they believe that fighting will help restore religious order. So that does make sense on how ISIS still believe in like fighting will help restore the Muslim religion back into the world. Salafism is the fastest growing Islamic religious belief. And what it means is that back in the Quarantimes, when Muhammad's generations and the next few generations, those are portrayed the golden standard of the religion, that they've lived, that they've read the Quran, that they studied it, and they used it in society, and they pretty much weren't considered infidels or people who don't live by the Quran or like that. And yeah, and as I move on to my third topic, we all see how we all see the videos and the photos on them beheading people, setting people on fire, like, oh my God, how can they do this? And as they continue to claim more and more territory, we usually think of the worst on what they're doing to the people trapped in the territories. Talk about that. And the third thing I'll talk about is this governments. They claim territories in parts of the Middle East and parts of Northern Africa, and they're raiding recruitments almost all around the world, including the United States. And this is a general map of their more current territory. Thank you very much. They have 24 walids or walihis or provinces, and they've actually they're trying to become more of like a state of government, more of a pseudo state, if you will. And they would, in their like judicial form, they would like cut hands off of the robbers who steal. They'll close down poor producing markets. They would just whip people who insulting their neighbors, and for like people who want to get to one province while it is to another province, they would personally transport them. They're wanting to help create buildings to more promote their religious beliefs, and that they're really open to the community, and want to make sure that the community doesn't feel like more of a more per se type of, just more like a militant type of feel. It's more like a more kind of like feels like a little small country, like you used to say. So after in this speech, I have discussed ISIS. The first thing I discussed was its origins. The second thing I discussed was ideology and beliefs. And the third thing I discussed was its process of becoming more of a pseudo state. I am confident that after my speech that you guys not only have more of an idea of who ISIS is, but also in your own daily lives that you become not so quick to be judgmental. Thank you.